Recording. All right, just give me a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 countdown.
In 5, 4, 3. Today is September 2nd, 2013.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Bad Communication Podcast, Netcast.
Netcast. From around Osaka, I'm Andrew Hawkins.
And from the lovely city of Tokushima, my name is Hiroki Matsuyuchi.
And from Tokyo, I'm Alex Kobayashi.
And today, we are going to tell you guys why we do not give autographs. Sorry, everybody. No autographs. That's just something we don't do. And actually, having not read that particular article in the rundown, I don't really know why we don't give autographs, but there must be a good reason.
Just don't feel like it.
Yeah, well, that and we've never been asked. Anyway, welcome everybody to episode number 158 of the Bad Communication Netcast, the video netcast all about Japan and lots of movies. Yeah, this is pretty old news. I feel like for most of the world. But, you know, these are pretty big titles that just came out in Japan within the past couple weeks. Yeah, I saw Man of Steel last night, and Alex just got back from
Pacific Rim.
In
2D.
In 2D.
It was
It's enough.
I don't think 3D was necessary.
Did you? Wait, you saw Pacific Rim too?
Yeah, I saw it last week.
Oh, damn, gotta get on that. Yeah, I heard Pacific Rim was pretty amazing.
It's pretty awesome.
No,
yeah.
it was. I mean, it was a straightforward action movie.
Yeah.
with an arc. I mean, you know, it wasn't
Don't give too much away, but
I think the thing about Pacific Rim is that it was like it's been like the big original movie in like I don't know how many months, even years of reboots and remakes and sequels and prequels. It was like the one big original movie that in recent memory.
How original was it? I mean, I know there's no Pacific Rim comic or Pacific Rim graphic novel or TV series, but
I mean, it drew tons of influences from everywhere. I mean,
Right.
I've heard people say it was fan service left and right for people who like things like Evangelion or Gundam or kaiju movies.
what? So did kaiju exist before Pacific Rim? Is that a thing?
Yeah, Godzilla.
Oh, wait, Godzilla was a kaiju, or he fought kaiju? Really?
Yeah, all the giant monsters are technically kaiju, so.
They come from the sea.
Oh, is this a Japanese word? Damn.
Yeah.
Whoops.
What? Really?
I don't know. I guess I just never made the connection. Well, I mean, it's clearly like it's an American Hollywood blockbuster film. I guess I just never thought about that. All right, fair
But
enough.
the point was, it was an original story and an original screenplay.
All right.
It wasn't adapted from anything. It wasn't a reboot of anything.
Right. Speaking of reboots, that's exactly what I saw last night. I saw the Zack Snyder rendition of Man of Steel. Yeah, and despite mixed reviews, I really enjoyed it. It was
Really?
it was a long movie. It was 142 minutes. So yeah, it was a little bit longer than a couple hours. And the first part was I should just shut my mouth. It was good. I really enjoyed it. And it was really different from kind of all of the Supermen that I've seen before. With what was the previous one? Who did the previous Superman? Do you remember?
She wasn't it. Was it Bryan Singer?
Maybe.
It's the same guy who did X-Men.
Yeah, it was really different, obviously, from the Christopher Reeve series, and it kind of curtails to some other big news, and that big news was Ben Affleck is going to play Batman.
You see,
and I loved your comment on Facebook about that.
Yeah, everybody's going crazy about, oh no, Ben Affleck's going to screw up Batman. And I'm like, is anybody more worried about the fact that they're making a crossover movie?
Right.
And how bad that could turn out anyway?
So this
doesn't matter who plays Batman.
Well, it's funny, like, I saw your post, like, about a day or two before I saw Man of Steel. And, I just saw the movie. And already there are talks, same director, same writer.
And it's going to be Superman versus Batman. I'm like thinking, oh, sheesh.
Wait, they're fighting?
I don't know if they're fighting. I don't know what it is. But
Well, I mean,
maybe Batman's just going to have an appearance. I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, isn't this part of like so they did Iron Man first, then they did Thor. Well, Thor I guess was before Iron Man. They kind of gathered. They did
Thor was
Hulk,
after Iron Man.
and they kind of like assembled the Avengers team in a series of movies leading up to the Avengers movie. Isn't that what they're doing with the
They're
Justice
trying
League?
to lead up to Justice League. Yeah, possibly.
They're gonna bring Batman. Green Lantern, was he Justice League? Yeah, he was Justice League, wasn't he? Martian Manhunter. I wonder
What about Wonder Woman, though?
Wonder Woman? Yeah, she could be in there. I mean, I kind of thought that this was just building up to, in 2020, Justice League, the movie. Anyway, I don't know. You guys can say what you will. I really enjoyed Superman. I saw it in 2D.
I watched a really negative review of it, and I think the main thrust of the problems was that there was just too much destruction, and Superman was not acting like Superman. He was not a hero saving people.
No.
So much.
Well, yeah. So I can't say too much about it, but the first half of the movie is pretty mellow. The second half of the movie, it's crazy, and that's the reason why I said I wouldn't want to see it in 3D. Especially in the second half of the movie, I think I would get pretty seriously nauseated at some of the scenes. I mean, the action is pretty amazing. The acting is pretty meh, but I mean, it's your typical summer blockbuster.
Right.
I have to go see it.
Yeah, it's worth it. Paid $10 for it. Yeah, why not? I liked it. Hour and 42 minutes, well spent.
Pacific Rim was satisfying, despite the odd, strange Japanese lines in it.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah. Anyway, speaking of 3D and 2D, there's some pretty big news that broke last week about gaming. Do you want to lead us through this one?
Right. So I think a couple of days ago, Nintendo announced that they'll be releasing the new 2DS portable, which is a new version of the 3DS that will only play 3DS games in 2D.
Confused?
Yeah.
So am I.
It's 3DS minus 3D, basically.
I like the GIF that's attached to this article.
Right.
So the form factor has changed from a clamshell to this like wedge slate type of thing. So you can't close it, and it looks really awkward to play.
People compare it to like an axe head, like the
Yeah, it looks like axe head a little bit.
Which is what the GIF is. It's the scene from The Shining, except instead of Jack Nicholson swinging an axe into the door, it's Miyamoto.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And the axe head is replaced by the 2DS. All work and no play, right?
Yeah, I think this was circulating everywhere. This GIF.
What are they going for with this? Is this just going to be like, this is just the cheaper model essentially?
It's the cheaper model. It's the it's for whoever doesn't have a 3DS yet, and it's aimed towards kids more because of the whole 3D thing can't screw up kids' eyes, I think.
Okay.
So yeah.
But still, the design is. I'm not feeling it.
Well, I mean, the whole the reasoning that I've heard behind the design was the fact that the clamshell design, it's easier to break than this.
Yeah. Well, kids can break the clamshell design easier.
Yeah, exactly. Because of the hinges, it's easy to snap off. Like if you lay it flat on the floor and you step on it or something, potentially can break it in half.
And I heard this thing is actually just one screen.
Really? Like the screen just continues.
It's one whole screen, but it like splits in the middle.
Doesn't look like that.
But it kind of makes sense.
Oh, the casing is designed as such? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's probably cheaper for them to manufacture just one screen and using, software programming just kind of display two different things on the top part and the bottom part. How weird. It's interesting.
I heard it's heavier than the 3DS too.
Really?
Which is like, okay.
I love all the parody clips. There's the Bringing Back the Classic, which is like two old school Game Boys stuck together.
That looks pretty cool though.
It does look pretty cool. Looks like something somebody would like just kind of hack together in the garage. The next iteration is the Nintendo 1DS, which is just one screen. Sure, fair enough. It's a little kid karate chopping it. What else?
It's tough and durable.
Tough and durable, yeah. There's a picture of it attached to an axe handle chopping a PSP or PS Vita in half. I don't know. Do you think this is Nintendo's admission that most people, when they buy the 3DS, play around with the 3D for a while and then end up just turning it all the way down after they kind of the gimmick wears off? I don't know. I don't own a 3DS.
It looks like a 3DS for kids, and
but I mean, it doesn't.
People who don't like it don't have to buy one. But I think they're not going to be discontinuing the original model, are they?
No, I don't think so. So I mean, I've heard from a few people who have 3DSs that, like, the 3D is really cool for some games, but for most games it doesn't really add so much to the gameplay. So they just kind of turn the slider all the way down and remove the 3D effect. I don't know, Alex, I know you have one. Do you use the 3D?
I haven't been playing that many 3D games, to be honest.
Ew.
But like, I think when I start playing the game, I blast it at full 3D, but then I like slowly turn it down and down, and just becomes a 2D game after a while. But there are some games that are like specifically designed around 3D, which make the gameplay a lot nicer.
I heard Mario 3DS, I think.
Yeah, the Mario 3D Land.
Yeah.
Is it has the 3D space, and you have to actually have 3D to actually have things pop out. So.
Right, like I heard that actually it was incorporated into the gameplay. Like you couldn't, or it was really difficult to beat some of the levels unless you had the 3D turned on, right?
Right. Yeah, the camera would be like stuck on one position, and if you look at it on 2D, it looks like a flat plane.
Uh-huh.
But when you turn on 3D, you can see where you're supposed to jump on and stuff.
Jumping into the screen, or that's
right.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But besides that game, I can't think of anything else.
Right. Anyway, why don't we hit up this last story before we jump into the break? I thought it was kind of cool. Threw it in a little bit last minute. Do you mind taking this one, Andrew?
Okay, well, if you are ever passing through Yokohama in Higashi Nakano Station, be sure to pay your fare.
Or else.
And don't get violent, or else you will get judo thrown by a 21-year-old female station attendant.
Yep.
This was kind of satisfying, actually.
Yeah.
Police said that Thursday, a 21-year-old female station attendant in Yokohama performed a judo shoulder throw on an unruly passenger. So this passenger, 134-year-old Mr. Hiroshi Ebina, bought a 130 yen ticket and boarded a JR train at Higashi Nakano Station, transferring to the Keikyu line before arriving at Yokohama Keikyu Station. Oh, I'm sorry, the incident happened at Yokohama Keikyu Station.
Right.
When Ebida attempted to leave the station without paying the full fare, the station attendant asked him to pay the remainder. Then he became unruly and struck the young woman in the face several times, at which point she said enough is enough and performed a Seoi Nage judo shoulder throw on him and pinned him down until the police officers arrived.
This was pretty satisfying. I feel bad for some of the JR staff.
I wish I could have seen it.
They take a lot of crap from the customers. I feel like almost all employees at retail or any service industry, they take a lot of crap from customers in Japan. I can imagine that this guy was being really obnoxious and got
so
exactly what was
he
coming
learned
to
a
him.
lesson, I hope.
Got to pay your fare.
And don't mess with the ladies.
Yeah.
You don't know. They might be ready to kick your ass.
Exactly. Anyway, that's I think that's all we have to say about that article. I did prepare a break video for you guys for this time. It's all about Akihabara and otaku. Whoops, that's not the right music. Yeah, it should be right up your alley. It's education, so hopefully it won't put you to sleep this time, Andrew.
Okay.
Anyway, as always, we've got lots of great stories on the other side of the break, so stick around. See you guys in a few minutes. Enjoy the video. Bye-bye.
Later.
Akihabara, also known as Akihabara Electric Town, or Akiba for short, is a district of Tokyo located about 5 minutes away from Tokyo Station. Over the past 140 years, Akihabara has developed into a nexus of electronics, computers, anime, games, and otaku culture. But if you were to travel 100 years back in Akihabara's history, you were more likely to find fruits and vegetables than anything else, as Akihabara was, for several decades, a produce market. Following a devastating fire in 1869, the 30,000 square meters of what would later become Akihabara was cleared in an effort to prevent future fires from reaching the inner part of the city. At that time, it was actually pretty common for Edo, or modern-day Tokyo, to be completely leveled by fire about once every 20 to 25 years. Following the fire, the Chinkasha Shrine was constructed on the cleared site and was wholeheartedly embraced by the local citizens, who got it completely wrong. Many residents of downtown Tokyo completely misunderstood the shrine and thought it enshrined the most popular fire-controlling deity at the time, Akiba, or Akiha. They even went a step further and decided to call the land around the shrine Akibagahara, or Square of Akiba. I'm sure you can see where this is going. A series of rail line extensions followed, and along with Akihabara's very well-placed cargo docks, it very quickly became one of the central trading hubs in the city. It wasn't until post-World War II, however, that Akihabara began to take the form that it resembles today. Centered around the first school of electrical manufacturing, a present-day Tokyo Denki University, black market vacuum tubes and radio-related shops began to sprout up. This continued until computers and console gaming started to enter the market, with products like the Famicom driving video game sales. The subsequent Windows PC boom in 1994 cemented Akihabara's reputation as a technological mecca, as vendors in the area began carrying computer-related products. But don't think the evolution ends there. With brand-name computer sales somewhat slowing over the past decade, Akihabara has shifted its focus towards otaku subculture, and the transition has been seamless. If you were to translate the modern usage of the word otaku into English, you'd probably end up with something like nerd or geek. That being said, this word applies to anybody who is a particular fan of a theme, hobby, topic, or form of entertainment. While there are negative connotations of social awkwardness and a somewhat obsessive behavior, the word otaku has actually been reclaimed by the otaku population and is slowly becoming used as a positive descriptor. The word otaku, as it's used in Japanese subculture, comes from the Japanese word of the same pronunciation that is the honorific that means a person's house, but is metaphorically used as a second-person pronoun, meaning you. Although there is a bit of dispute regarding the origin of the word, it's most likely attributed to Akio Nakamori's series titled An Investigation of Otaku, published in the Lolicon magazine Manga Burikko in 1983. The term was used to describe fans who inappropriately used the word otaku, well past the point in their relationship where they could have used a more casual word. The word continued to gain popularity, but was catapulted into the mainstream with the murder trial of Tsutomu Miyazaki, dubbed the Otaku Murderer, after he was convicted of a series of gruesome deaths. While this notorious murderer has cast the word in an extremely negative light, as enthusiasts around the world embrace the word otaku, it's becoming somewhat more positively received as of late. Whether you're into anime, manga, cooking, trains, fighting beetles, maid cafes, computers, electronics, programming, graphic design, etc., you're probably an otaku. So wear your badge of otakuness with pride. Thanks for watching this episode of The Japan Show. If you have any questions or suggestions for future topics, please be sure to leave a comment below. And if you'd like to see more episodes like this one, head over to youtube.com/watchthejapanshow and subscribe.
Welcome back to the Bad Communication Netcast.
Hey guys, how are you doing?
Hi.
You guys learn anything new about otaku? Actually, I didn't know that before I did the research. I didn't know that otaku actually came from the very formal word that means a person's house. Do you guys know that? Is that common knowledge?
I remember learning that in Japanese class.
Oh, really?
I knew that.
Huh.
Yeah, but like the word jitaku,
What's
which
G?
means your house.
Yeah.
Oh, jitaku. Right. Anyway, hope you guys learned something new about Akihabara. Do you guys know about the whole like Chinkasha shrine thing, or is this all just?
No, that was new.
Yeah, that's right. At least somebody learned something.
History.
Awesome. Akihabara was a fruit and vegetable market. Hopefully in another 50 years it will revert back to its roots. Actually, I read an interesting article about how Akihabara is becoming more and more inhospitable to like otaku and cosplayers. You guys read about that?
I read that under the previous Tokyo governor, he who shall not be named, no, he who hates manga,
Right.
the place had become more and more just like normal office and apartment blocks,
Right. Well,
less and less
it's kind of like the
geeky stores.
it's kind of like, you know, what happens to trendy districts in like Manhattan. So
That's true.
it's like it's a very poor area, so it attracts usually poor artists, musicians, etc. Then it becomes kind of trendy, and then a lot of more wealthy people move in. They build nice houses, property value goes up, and those same you know, artists and beatniks and bohemians that made the place trendy to begin with can't afford to live there anymore.
Yeah, it's kind of what happened to Haight-Ashbury in San Francisco.
Yeah, there's a bunch of districts in
The
Manhattan as well.
the hippies became yuppies.
Right. Yeah, I heard something similar is happening in Akihabara, and like other places around Tokyo are kind of spreading up. I mean, last time I went to Akihabara, there were, of course, like those kind of small little hole-in-the-wall electronic shops, game shops. But I mean, you get those really big players like Yamada Denki has a huge, what is it, Techland, huge electronics store.
You can
Yeah.
find those in just about everywhere.
Yodobashi camera. I mean, I don't know.
Yodobashi camera is a little more rare.
Is it? Well, anyway, shall we jump onto the next story? This one comes to us via Rocket News 24, our favorite source of not fake news, but not really very serious news. So the title of this article is "Japanese versus Western style toilets. Squatty potty stool gives us the best of both." So this is something that everybody talks about who comes from a country where, you know, the kind of squat toilets are not popular, and you either love them or you hate them. Most people hate them, I think. However, apparently there are some health benefits to squatting while using the potty, and this is all very medical and technical. So I will pull up this picture. There is a muscle called the puborectalis muscle, which kind of forms like a little sling around your rectum. And apparently when you sit, it's not completely relaxed. However, when you squat, it completely relaxes and kind of opens up the sphincter, which can, of course, lead to you know, more efficient elimination of solid waste. I'm being very scientific here. However, you know, most people don't like squatting above a hole in the ground. So this company, I forget the name of the company, has developed a little stool, essentially, that just elevates your legs and kind of props you at the exact angle, which is 35 degrees of bend, which relaxes said muscle and, you know, can allow you to, as I said before, eliminate solid waste much more efficiently. And, of course, there are all sorts of interesting health benefits that go along with this. I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to run out immediately and pick up one of these squatty potty stools. How about you guys?
I don't know. You know, I read something. I recently made a Tumblr blog.
You made a Tumblr blog?
Yeah, I haven't posted anything to it. I've just been following stuff.
Pimp
There's
it.
one
What is it?
Tumblr called Life Hackable.
Uh-huh.
They posted something about this where, like, they said pulling your knees to your chest is healthier.
When
But
you're...
there were so many other things on that blog that just seemed kind of outlandish to me that I kind of dismissed it.
Right.
I don't know, I'm mind blown that there's actually biological benefits to squatting.
It's... I don't know.
Well, when you think about it, I
It
mean,
does make sense, I guess.
how many millions of years did, I mean, the primates that we've descended from, they didn't have toilets.
No, they didn't.
Uh,
they did
and,
sit down on chairs. Yeah.
Humans didn't have toilets running around on the savannah, so
No, I guess Toto
that's
didn't.
what people did.
didn't
They
exist.
squatted. So
Yeah, I guess.
It does make sense from an evolutionary point of view.
And you know, I mean, that's what animals do. You know, it's interesting that you mentioned this. This is kind of, it's somewhat related, but this was a story I read about sleeping together, like with your partner, like your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, husband, wife. And you know, apparently the whole notion of sleeping together with another person in the same bed or even in the same room is relatively new. It happened pretty much around the same time as the Industrial Revolution, where people were moving into bigger cities. And because they were moving into bigger cities, space was a premium. So they had to sleep together in the same room and in many cases in the same bed. But apparently, like historically, many people, or it wasn't the kind of social custom for husband and wives to sleep together. So a lot of people believe, like sleep experts believe, that actually sleeping in a separate bed or even a separate room from your partner gives you a better night's sleep than, you know, sleeping with your partner in the same bed. It's kind of the same idea. These things that we almost take for granted as being completely natural and the way things should be are not always necessarily the best way.
Mm.
That being said, I don't think I'm actually going to go out and buy one of these.
No, but as somebody said, you don't need one. You just get a bucket and flip it upside down.
That's true. Yeah.
I was gonna say I have not had good experience with squat style toilets though.
Nope.
There's too much potential for a horrible accident, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I've just never been able to relax enough.
Yeah.
over one of them.
They're always
So.
they're always kind of dirty too. I know people say they're
Yeah.
I know people
Oh
say
God,
they're
I've seen some of the worst. Also.
people say they're easier to clean, and I can imagine that. You just pretty much take a hose and like just rinse it down. But they're always a little bit wet around the toilet area. There's always some spillage that happens. There's always some staining on the seat in the bowl as well. It's just not doesn't feel as clean an experience as using a Western style toilet. I don't know about you guys. Maybe it's just my delicate American sensibilities, but
Did you see that other article where 60% of kids in Japan hate it?
the squatty potty or the squatting toilets?
The squatting toilet.
Really?
Yeah.
I definitely think it's kind of like a cultural shift. I think most young people these days, they dislike
Yeah.
squatting toilets as much as
We do.
we do. Yeah. Anyway,
What if you just lean over when you're on the toilet?
instead of bringing your legs up to you, just
Yeah.
bringing your body. I don't know. I'll have to try it. It reminds me of that South Park episode where Butters was sitting on the toilet facing the wrong direction. So you guys have never seen that, have you?
No.
So yeah, okay. So anyway, watch the episode. It's pretty funny.
All right.
Butters, one of the characters in South Park, he grew up thinking that the proper way to use a toilet is to face the
Tank.
in the back. And he's like, oh yeah, it's great. Like you can use it as a table. Like you can do your homework while you're in the potty. And I kind of laughed at first, but after a while I was thinking like, oh yeah, that would be kind of convenient actually. I could bring some paperwork into the bathroom and get some stuff done while I'm, doing other stuff. Anyway, shall we jump on to the next story? It's nothing to do
Okay.
with pooping.
The next one is a short one, but it's our namesake. It's why Mr. Miyazaki of Studio Ghibli fame does not give autographs most of the time in Japan. So if you ask him for an autograph, he'll politely decline, and there's a reason for it. Several years ago, he found out that his signatures were being sold for unbelievably high prices of about $3,000 to $5,000.
Oh wow.
Which is, I guess it shouldn't be too shocking if you're a really famous person. Yeah, your autograph will trade
Hmm.
as long as it can be apprised as a real one, because there's so many fakes floating around.
Right.
But he thought it was an exorbitant amount of money, and what he thought was giving to a loving fan was actually just being sold. So he stopped giving autographs, and he made one exception. After the Tohoku earthquake in 2011, he took a trip up north to visit the children in disaster-stricken areas, and he held an event where he gave autographs, anything they wanted signed. And his view, he said, if it's going to be sold, well, they need the money, and the money will be going to somebody who needs it.
Wow.
So yeah.
Yeah,
But
Miyazaki's
don't ask Miyazaki for an autograph under normal circumstances.
He's a pretty cool guy. Makes some pretty amazing movies. It kind of blows my mind when you look at his filmography. He makes movies like Princess Mononoke. It's pretty gruesome, pretty violent. Then he goes from that to like Ponyo, which is clearly for kids. And like his recent movie, Kaze Tachinu, which I don't think has come out in the U.S. It's kind of like almost like historical fiction. It's based on a true story about the engineer who designed the Mitsubishi Zero, right?
Yeah, and that's his last movie, I hear.
Didn't they say the same thing about Ponyo or something? Don't they always?
The Ponyo was the last. Wait.
I remember hearing the same thing about one of his previous movies. Like that was going to be his last one. Kaze Tachinu.
I think Ponyo was the last hand-drawn movie or something.
Ah, okay.
They did all the effects and analog effects.
Ah, so it's like all.
They didn't really use any computer effects for that movie, I heard.
Oh wow. Yeah, again, I haven't seen Kazetachi no, but I heard it's pretty heart-wrenching and pretty good at the same time. Anyway, guys, we're butting up to the 30-minute mark. Do you want to quickly go through this this last one? Andrew, you threw this in the rundown.
I did, didn't I?
You did.
This was Happiness Station in Hokkaido. And it's built... So yeah, there's a Kofuku Station in Hokkaido. And although the rail line, the Hiro line, has long gone, the company went bankrupt 26 years ago, the station still remains. And what's unique about the station is that people come there and they leave notes, they leave business cards, they leave things like messages of happiness and wishes.
So what exactly does kofuku mean?
Happiness.
Happiness. Okay. So it literally translates into happiness station.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's just been like a collection, kind of like a museum of things that people have just left there. It's turned into a kind of shrine. But unfortunately, the structure is crumbling. So it's going to close for renovation work. But it'll be continued to serve its purpose. They'll just take the notes down after a year or so.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So this place got famous because of an NHK documentary in the 70s.
Kind of reminds me of, you know, if you go to a temple or shrine, you can get temple, shrine,
Yeah.
both. You get like omikuji, which are those little kind of fortune papers. I guess I don't know how you translate them. And a lot of people, if they get not so good a fortune, they tie it to a tree, or some of the temples even set up these like racks with strings on them. It's kind of the same idea. It's pretty cool. All right.
And they have those like Japanese wooden things that you write your wish on and put it on some board in the temple, right?
Right, yeah.
I forgot what those are called.
I forgot what they're called too. They're a little bit more expensive though. Like the omikujis are usually 100 yen, like a buck. Those boards that you buy are like 500 yen or 1,000 yen. Some of them are pretty amazing. People have beautiful calligraphy, and they usually paint like these really nice, what are they called?
Emma.
Yukie pictures?
That's
oh,
what
Emma.
it's called.
Right. Have you guys ever written one of those?
I have not.
How about what are those Tanabata wishes?
Well, I think once.
Gokaku dekiru yoni, something like that. Yeah,
Maybe once, I don't know.
those are fun. 7-7, right?
I wish for Hayao Miyazaki's autograph.
So I can sell it on eBay for $5,000.
It's probably expensive now that he's not giving it out.
Yeah, it's even more rare. Anyway, guys, I think we are going to be taking a couple-week break from the show. I'm heading back to New York, so
Okay.
unfortunately, yeah. But we'll be back after a couple weeks, and we'll post more information about that on our Twitter account and our blog, which is badcommunicationjapan.com. If you'd like to find links to all of the articles we talked about today, you can find it over at our blog at the previously mentioned address, badcommunicationjapan.com. In addition to all sorts of contact information, don't forget we will be live every Monday night, except for the next 2 Monday nights, at 10 a.m. in Japan, which is 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and 6 p.m. on Sunday, 9 p.m. on Sunday, Pacific Standard Time. I think that's about it, guys. So why don't we wrap up the show? As always, we do have to get the hell out of here for now. So once again, my name is Hiroki Matsuchi.
I'm Andrew Hawkins.
And I'm Alex Kobayashi.
Yeah, sorry about the 2-week absence, but we'll see you guys in a bit. See you later. Bye, guys.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.